Hi beautiful, welcome to my channel. In today's video I'm reviewing the new Natasha Denona Xenon palette. You guys have been asking me for this review in the comments and I apologize that I'm a little bit late, but I did not get lucky with my package getting delivered like super fast. And since the Sephora sale started a couple of days ago, I did have content planned for the past couple of days. However, today is the day I'm going to be swatching this beautiful black and white palette. We are going to be comparing shades, and of course I'll do a couple of looks with this one, and then we'll decide if we need a 5 looks 1 palette with it or not. So if you're excited for this video, don't forget to please give it a thumbs up and let's go ahead and get started. If you decide to go for the Natasha Denona Xenon palette, I do have a discount code on the Natasha Denona website. My code is PATTY15 and you can save 15% off of your purchase. Plus this one breaks the threshold for the free shipping, so you get free shipping and 15% off of this palette with my code PATTY15. And I believe this palette is also available at Sephora now, and the Sephora Spring Savings event is happening, so you can also get it at Sephora with a discount. Both links are down below in the description box of this video, as well as the list of everything I am wearing on my face today. So definitely check out the description box for any info you might need. The new Natasha Denona Xenon palette is a midi-sized palette. It is made in Italy as per usual, and it has a 24-month shelf life. It has this beautiful hard plastic case, which is a shiny black with what looks like little stars. It looks like a little constellation, and because of the color and finish of it, it shows your fingerprints like crazy, okay? Just so you know. Once you open it, it has this extremely grungy black, white, and gray color story right here with lots of different finishes. We have mattes, we have metallics, we have a new formulation in this palette. The shade Stellar here is set to be a shimmer with a wet finish, and I'm super excited to swatch all of these shades and see how they shift and whether we can create different enough looks with this palette. First things first, let's go ahead and go for the swatches. Starting with the shade Rhyme, which is a metallic white shade. Cygnus is a sparkling foiled anthracite. This is like a gray with very silver sparkles. Stellar is the new formula, and this is a sparkling wet effect shimmer. And Blizzard is a creamy matte shade. I'm building it up a bit. As you can see, it's a light gray shade. Moving on to the shade Grow, which is a sparkling metallic iron gray. If you compare this one to this one, the shade Cygnus is a bit more sparkly than this one. Ebb is a metallic midnight blue, and Supersonic is a sparkling foiled silver with multicolored specks. I was about to say I didn't see the multicolored specks, but I do see maybe like some pink and blue, teeny tiny, barely visible little sparkles in there. Posh is a creamy matte powder charcoal shade. Snowbow is a crystal sparkling pink with multicolored specks. And Night Sky is a metallic black. On the last row we have Contrail, which is a matte white. I think it's more like an off-white color. And then we have Snert, which is a medium matte gray. Neve is a sparkling metallic peonic pink. Truly, I don't see the pink in there. To me, it looks more like a whitish type shade, but I'm reading to you guys the way that these colors are described on the Natasha Denona website. Flurry is a matte eggshell shade. I'm building it up a little bit. And Skiff is a sparkling foiled light medium champagne color. So take a look right here at what the swatches of this palette look like. I will say there are some shades that seem repetitive, but they all have different finishes to them. Like these two colors here seem kind of close to one another, but one has sparkles, one does not have sparkles. This one is kind of similar to those as well, but this one is a fully matte color. These two have different undertones. This one's more of a dark gray, and this one's almost like a midnight blue. And then I like that we have a blue tone color, a pink shimmer, and a champagne shimmer down here. So do some of the colors look repetitive? I would say yes and no, because because obviously this is a black and white palette, so you will get a bunch of different shades of gray in the mix. However, they do all have a different amount of sparkliness to them, a different finish. Some are matte, some are metallic, some are foiled. I'm excited to continue to play with this one, so let's go ahead and create a couple of eye looks. First things first, I want to prime my eyes with my Rare Beauty eyeshadow primer. Since a lot of these colors are kind of whitish, I wanted to make sure I have a nice bright base. And I'm going to blend that out with my Rephr number 36 brush all the way to right underneath my brow. I got you guys a little closer, and to begin the first look, I'm going to use my Rephr number 14 Max and the shade Snurd right here. With this color, I'm going to add depth. That's a lot. Okay, that's pigmented. Hold on. Oh my goodness. I'm going to add depth to the inner corner of my eye here. That's a little bit more depth than I anticipated. However, this palette does have something that I love when palettes have, and that is a matte white shade, because it helps blend out anything that goes too far dark, you know? So with this same brush, I'm going to get Contrail, which is the off-white matte color, and I'm going to lighten up what I did. See? I love matte white shades, man. So good. Back to Snurd, because I want to darken up this area here at an angle. So from the outer part of the crease down to like the middle of the eyelid. And let's blend the edges. A little bit of Contrail, which is our off-white matte color. And I'm going over the edges like I did for the inner part. And that off-white color also makes it a little bit more blue looking, by the way. So take a look, we have that inner corner going up at an angle, and then from the center of the eye going out at an angle as well. Switching brushes from my 14 Max to my 14 Mini from Rephr, and I want to grab the color Ebb, and I'm adding Ebb to the innermost corner of the eye right here to intensify those matte shades we blended in. And I'm going to also add Ebb to the outer third of my eyelid, right over the gray shades. With my flat Rephr number 2, I want to get the shade Snowball, and I'm going to add that color right in the center here, blending it into the other colors, and I'm putting it all the way to the crease. Okay, check out what that looks like. I'm digging it so far. With my black Glossier eyeliner, I'm going to line my waterline, smudging the eyeliner with a Rephr number 3. And with a 13 Mini and the shade Ebb, I'm going to back and forth swipe that color all the way to my tear duct area. Regular number 13 and the shade Contrail. And I'm going to smoke that out under the eye, just softening up everything. For the inner corner with my number 2 Mini, I'm going to grab the shade Rhyme, which is this shimmery white color, and just pop it right on the inner corner. That's a pretty shimmer right there. All right, so this right here is look number 1, but I want to add something. I think we need a half wing. With my 24/7 liner from Urban Decay, I'm going for it. Eyeliner on, and this right here is the finished first look with this Natasha Denona Xenon palette. I have to say, I honestly expected this shade to show up a little bit more pink than it does on the eyelid. It shows up more so silver, but it might be that I combined it with bluish toned grays, which is what might be making it show up silver. So definitely keep that in mind if you're considering this palette. But anyways, before any mascara or lashes, this right here is the finished first look. Moving on to the second look, I'm going to start with my Rephr number 15 brush and the color Flurry. And I'm going to use the color Flurry as a transition color right up here on the crease. With the Rephr number 1 Max, I want to grab the color Spoosh or Sposh right here. This is a cream to powder shade, and I'm going to darken up the outer third of my eyelid with it. And I'll also start blending it into the crease. And so just back and forth with some windshield wiper motions, I'm really melting that color into the transition shade. A bit more of that same color Sposh just to intensify the outer third of my eyelid here. And this time I'm not going to go crazy blending. I just want to actually keep it nice and intense back here. Switching to a flat brush, this is an 02 Max. I want to get the shade Cygnus here, which is a foiled black with silver sparkles, and I'm going to tap it all throughout my eyelid. We're doing a black glittery smoky eye. So I'm just tapping it all throughout my eyelid. Okay, I'm loving that. Refer 02 Mini and the color Stellar here. And I'm going to add Stellar to the inner corner and blend it in a third of the way through my crease here, just to define my lid a bit. Tapping it here and swiping it in. Okay, that looks stunning. Once again, I'm going for a black waterline. This is my Glossier No. 1 eyeliner pencil. That is not fallout. I had a shade on this finger and I pressed it onto my skin. Anyways, with a reference number 3, I'm going to smudge that eyeliner back and forth down here between my lower lashes. And with a reference number 13 and the shade Sposh, I'm going to smoke things out right underneath my eye, softening that up with a little bit of Flurry. So take a look, this right here is my second look with the Xenon palette. I'm going to put on some mascara and lashes, and I'll be back to do some comparisons with the mini Xenon shades, and I'll give you my final thoughts on this palette. Finally back with the lashes on, and these right here are my two first looks with the Xenon palette. So check it out. This one here is look number 1, which I added a wing to, and I kept it nice and light. I really wish that the pink shimmer in the center would show up a little bit more pink rather than silver, but this is what came out. And then this dark glittery smoky eye right here is the second look, which I absolutely love the way this came out. And I gotta say, one of the things I love most about this palette is the fact that I was able to create this black smoky eye. It's like a black smoky eye, but there's no black shade involved really. It's more so like deep gray colors, which allowed me to do a black smoky eye stress-free. If I were to have used actually black shades for this eye look right here, they would not have blended as easily as they did today. And I feel like I would have had a lot of panic, trust the process moments, where I found that this is the easiest black smoky eye I have ever done, because the shade Spoosh right here was such an easy shade to work with. It's a cream to powder shade from Natasha, and I felt like it blended out so easily into the color Flurry here, and it created this crease color that is beautifully blended, and it goes all the way from a natural skin-like color to a pretty dark gray. Again, not an actual black, which in my opinion took a lot of stress out of the situation. I also feel like the color Cygnus right here that I put all throughout the center of my eyelid was very helpful, because again, not a true black shade. The sparkles are phenomenal, and it blended right into what I had done on the crease. Furthermore, even though I didn't use any actual black shades for this eyeshadow look, I don't feel like I need them. I feel like this is a black smoky eye without having actual black shades in it. Like, I don't feel the need to darken that up at all, even next to my black nails. Like, this is fine. I like it. I love the way it looks, and I feel like this is the first time ever that I can achieve a look like this one without having to stress about every single detail of the blending process, because black shades can sometimes be a little bit tricky to work with. So I absolutely love that. I had to mention it. Now let's move on to like a complaint that I have. Some of these shades are described as having multicolor shimmers in them, and I truly don't think that you can see the multicolor shimmers. This one here, which I was expecting to be a bit more pink looking, as you can see on my eyelid, it does not look pink at all. But overall, I would say that I like the looks I created. I had fun creating them. The formulation is perfection. Every single shade seems very easy to work with, and so if these types of looks are looks that you feel like you're going to go for often, or you want looks like these for the holiday season, then I absolutely recommend that you get this palette. Now, if these colors are a turn off for you and you don't really do gray smoky eyes or black smoky eyes, then absolutely feel free to skip it. I don't think this is my favorite Natasha Denona palette, just because I enjoy looks like these every once in a while, but these are not my go-to eyeshadow looks. These are like special occasion looks for me. And so I know that I'm not going to get as much use out of this palette as I've gotten out of the My Dream palette from Natasha Denona or the I Need a Nude palette from Natasha Denona. Those are go-to palettes for me. This right here is a special occasion palette. So keep that in mind when you're deciding whether or not to go for it. As far as comparisons between these two, I'm happy to see that there aren't any repeated shades. My friend Andrea was disappointed that the Xenon palette didn't have a true black matte shade, but that's because the mini Xenon has it. And I'm pretty sure Natasha doesn't repeat shades from her mini palettes in her midi palettes. I feel like there's a couple of exceptions, but for the most part, these are supposed to be an extension of one another, not a repeat of one another. There's also not a silver, quite like the silver in the mini Xenon palette in this one. This is a true metallic foiled super intense silver. The silvers that we can see in the Xenon palette are more so sparkles rather than a true super intense shimmer shade. See, take a look right here. This is the very intense silver from the mini Xenon palette next to the color Super Bionic from the midi Xenon palette. And as you can see, this shade right here is a bit more see-through. It doesn't have the intense silver base that this silver from the mini Xenon palette has. You can see it even better from further away. I don't have any other silver that is as intense as the silver in the mini Xenon palette for sure. Take a look right there. Then I wanted to compare this gray color to this gray color to this gray color to this gray color. So the first two are from the midi palette, the new one, and then these two are from the mini palettes. The light grays, as you can see, have slightly different undertones, and the dark grays, this one is from the new palette and this is the dark gray from the mini Xenon palette, which swatched looks more like this color right here called Sposh. This one is that one. So the soft black color looks more like the gray in the mini Xenon than the dark gray color from this one. And then, like I said, there's no true black shade in the midi palette. This matte black shade right here is the one from the mini Xenon palette, which, to be honest with you, is not my favorite matte black shade because mine is kind of hard panned and it's been like that since the very beginning. Thinking back to my mini Xenon palette review, I feel like I might have had an issue with that black color since the very beginning. It's never been my favorite black color to reach for. I find it a bit hard to work with, and so that's why I was so pleasantly surprised by the fact that I was able to achieve this super dark smoky eye without using an actual black shade with the dark colors from this midi palette. Anyways, I really hope that this video was helpful. Let me know in the comment section which look you guys like better, look number 1 versus look number 2. Also, let me know if you want to see a 5 looks 1 palette with this one down there. I'm not sure if I'm capable of doing 5 distinctly different looks with the mini Xenon palette, to be honest with you, so I'm a little skeptical about creating the 5 looks 1 palette. You let me know if you want to see it, especially because then it would have to be 5 looks other than what I did today. So I don't know that I'm capable. Let me know if you want to see it. I might try, you know. If you guys really want to, I might try. If you guys liked this video and you found it helpful, don't forget to please give it a thumbs up before you leave. If you're new to my channel, please don't leave without subscribing. I love you all so much. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you back in the next one. Bye.